Hello. Hopefully we're live. These lives usually take about 20 seconds to kick in. So I'm just going to make some small talk for the next 5 seconds. How are you? Hope the family are well. Don't be a stranger. Let's get into it. So today I want to talk about why coaches, consultants, experts as a whole don't fucking make as much money as they should and show you a model that fundamentally changes all of it. I'm going to walk you through shortly what I call the hybrid coaching or the hybrid delivery model. Delivery is probably actually a better name. So we're going to call it that, the hybrid delivery model. And I'm going to show you how you can scale your clients' results, because we fundamentally, as service providers, get paid for the problems that we solve for other people. If you're not solving a problem, people aren't going to pay you money. So there's two things in that. We actually need to solve a problem that's valuable, but we also want to do it for as many people as possible because we're good at what we do. So I was on a call with our C2C clients last night, and I look around the room, the Zoom room, and everyone there is truly shit hot at whatever service it is that they provide. But they've all joined C2C because they're not getting the leads that they want, essentially. That's what it fundamentally comes down to. Either that or building personal brand or some sort of processes. And if we look at the fundamentals of creating a business, we have to have an attractive proposition and package and services that we can put out into the world, get people to buy, and then actually deliver it to them. What most people don't do is start by looking at the model, the way in which they are going to deliver to people. They almost put it last, which is the intuitive way to do it, and it would be counterintuitive to do it this way. But I actually like to look at my life, my time, and the time I want to spend delivering to clients before offer design. So this is one of the fundamental things that you should look at when trying to put something together. Good news is, even if you've already got a few clients, you've already got a business, you can still go back and tweak things. So I want to hopefully in this session try and change the way that you think about stuff. Okay. So there are two reasons why most coaches and consultants aren't making enough money from the clients that they already have. One is the model, but first I want to talk about another thing, and that's the stories that we tell ourselves. We often forget that we are in full control, and we outsource our control to other people, or what we think other people might think, or the weather, or the market. And we have to remember that keeping a stable mind allows us that full control. It gives us agency over our moves because we can control what we do each day, providing we've got a bit of a plan and we've got a bit of a focus. I actually sat down with the team yesterday and they were a bit unsure as to what the goal is for us as a business and as a brand over the next 3 to 6 months. And I was like, yeah, no wonder we're not quite at where we want to be, because we haven't got a fucking focus. So being aware of the stories that you're telling yourself is going to allow you to step out of the current situation if you so wish to change it, which, you're hanging around on LinkedIn or Instagram, so you want to change something. Otherwise, you're just doom scrolling, in which case, doom scroll on, because it's probably not worth watching. However, let's get into this. Before I do, actually, one story that I told myself just before I got on this live, I've never done this before in my entire life. I was like, I'm going to fucking nail this. So I better do a good job. I hopefully will do a good job. Okay. So let's get into this hybrid coaching model. All right. And I think there are some essentials that you need to give to clients and make sure that your clients have before we look at the model itself. The first one, and you probably will have experienced this when you've worked with a service provider in some way, you'll give them money. and then you're chucked in a load of different directions, and you've either got questions or blockers or like unknowns, like you're not quite sure where to go, and you've got access all over the place, and there's 20 different ways to try and get to the one thing. So one of the essentials that I recommend you have in place is a client roadmap. All right, very easy to do. All we're going to do is think about where clients are now. I'll draw this at the bottom. So what's their current state, which is usually pain, and then look at the opposite side and look at what success would look like after working with you for 3, 6, 12 months, 2 years, whatever. It's up to you whether you look at like aspirational marketing as a whole and put it out as success, or you may use pain-based marketing. I kind of use a mixture of both. We're not here to talk about the message though. What we are here to talk about is the model and the journey. So there's a gap essentially between the current problem or the current state of pain or the current situation and the desired situation or the point of success. And that is the reason that they will pay you. I am frustrated or unhappy or want to achieve something. I'm not doing it. I think you can help me. And therefore, I'm willing to pay you to either do it for me, do it with me, help me do it myself, whatever. And that is where the question marks start to occur if you don't have a roadmap. So I like to list out all the single steps with my clients when I help them work on offers. What are all the single steps someone has to take in order to reach success? Once you know that, you're able to kind of like bucket them in together. I talk about this in my book, which is called Content to Clients. But I pulled up behind they're a pond company. They're called Cheshire Ponds. And just on the back, they had very simple 3 phases. All right. And they were design, build, and maintain. Just knowing 3 phases is really, really crucial for your business. If you know, what do you do? Well, I can help you design, build, and maintain a pond. Fucking great. Helps with the offer, helps with the marketing, keeps everything nice and simple. I'm not saying the process is simple, because designing a pond, Jesus, you probably have to go and scope it out. Then I don't know if you need some sort of pond architect or something like that. Then building it, obviously you need to scope out the materials. You need to then building it. You need to actually, dig, excavate the area, whatever it is. Put in like I don't know, some sealant of some description, some of that polythene shit. So there's probably like 20 different stages across all of these phases. Which, if you were to give that to a client at the start of a working journey and go, there you go. They're gonna I would not know where to start with building a pond. It would be happy. I would be happy if it was in like a linear order. Not everything is, but this is one of the main essentials that you should provide and can provide very easily to clients in order to stop them going in like 20 different directions. Okay. The next one is systems and tools. Okay. Well, systems and support. So based on the roadmap and the direction and having one clear path, clients should know essentially when and where they can get in contact with you and the support that's available. So take a real look and have a real think about all the different things that you give them to support them in this journey or through this roadmap. Yeah. It may be something along the lines of, we've built a briefing system where you can fill in a form. So we don't have to hop on a call. You just fill in a form. Or here is the specific link that you use to go and book a call with me whenever it's a time for a one-to-one. It might be like a dashboard that you build for them so they can access all the stuff all in one place. We have a course portal that we use for our information. So they can go and get tutorials, they get the playbooks, they get the tools, all these different things. And it's very, very easy for them to access because it's all in one place. But if you're pulling people in a load of different directions, kind of goes back to the first point, right? They'll just be confused. It puts friction in the journey. It puts something in the way of them getting exactly what it is they want fast, which is your job as a service provider, pretty much, to inherit the client's pain and give them what they need as fast as fucking possible. Yeah. The next thing here this is where the tools would come in. Tools and materials. So you think about this, change color. You think about this like this journey that we go on. or we take clients on, we can invent or create different tools and materials to help. So let's zoom in a sec. We might have a bit of an onboarding video telling them what to do when they hop in. We might, I'm not going to do a cog. Pretend that's a cog. We might be able to build a tool that helps them speed up the first version of something. So, I mean, we're moving away from GPTs at the moment, but we have a GPT that will ask you a couple of questions. You basically fill in a statement about your offer and your model and stuff. And then we have an offer builder GPT, which is trained on all my frameworks and loads of offer calls where I've ripped them apart and put them back together again. And that just speeds up version 1. Now, I'm not a big advocate for AI based shit, but you could spend ages like on your own without a tool, with a blank page going, oh, what is my offer? Oh, I'm not quite sure. I'll watch that little video that Chris has built, not whatever. But actually, having a tool there speeds up that process. And that's one of the first fundamental things that clients need to have in place before we can actually help them. They have to make some decisions. But if they're just sat there on their own having to come up with it, progress slows. They start to get pissed off with the process, or they feel frustrated, or they feel overwhelmed. They walk away, or they don't get the best result. So designing tools for each part of this client journey is absolutely essential wherever possible. Again, materials. So it might just be, oh, here, let's say we're designing a pond. I mentioned it before. You might have a checklist for the design that you go through. Imagine you're a video editor. You turn up to the shoot. You might just have a checklist to make sure your batteries are charged and you've got all the equipment. You've got the different lenses. You've pre-booked the makeup, or you've pre-booked the venue, whatever it is. And then you might give the client one as well, where it's like, please make sure that you are wearing this, make sure these staff members are present, please make sure this room is booked out if you're filming it on location, all these different bits. So you can create these tools once and they become scalable, which actually makes the whole delivery process a lot easier. And we can make it repeatable, which is super, super key. By the way, if you want help building this stuff out, we're opening our doors fairly soon. Before the end of the month, like 10 days, we're going to open doors to C2C. We're going to have 7 spots available. Last month we sold out, and we've already sold out 1. So there are 6 spots available. Someone else is on the fence about joining right now as well. So that might go down to 5. But we can help you build all this shit out. There is a link somewhere around this video, if it populates correctly, that you'll be able to click to go and find out more about how we're helping people build this stuff out and actually get some crazy results too. Some of our client results are absolutely insane. Like, I've never seen any other organic marketing program deliver this kind of result. Anyway, so the core part of this diagram is this, and this is what I call the hybrid delivery pyramid. Because the problem that most coaches, experts have is they're stuck in one of 3 available modes. If we look at the available modes, we have done for you in the middle, which is this DFY here. Sorry, this is actually meant to say done with you. This is done for you, and this is do it yourself. All right. So there are only really 3 ways that you're going to be able to sell, or 3 models that you can use. What I'm going to suggest to you is you try and come up with a hybrid. And this works insanely well. We've already kind of covered it. So what most coaches are stuck on doing is everything is done with you. And especially if they're doing one-to-one, it means that you're trading all your time for money. Whereas if you can bring in this part, so they're done for you, and this part, which is the do-it-yourself, you're going to buy that time back, which is super key. All right. Even if you have group, which would still be done with you. So you're doing it alongside the people, you're hopping on calls with them. You've got perhaps some asynchronous communication that happens on WhatsApp or email or Slack, which is what we use for C2C. Fundamentally, that takes up your time. But we can create assets that actually allow us, or allow the clients, to have some things done for them, and some areas they do themselves. All right. So I kind of mentioned it on this timeline here. An onboarding video, that is DIY. Okay. They watch that themselves and then implement. If we look at a tool, that's something that is done for them. So an example might be we've got quite a few actually. We have a profile review tool. So I have a methodology for LinkedIn profiles called Drop, which means you're taking people, is your profile basically taking people in the right direction? Sorry, not direction. Is your profile different, or is it something that 500 other people could say? Does it have a route that they need to go on? Is it outcome focused? And does it have proof? When you combine those 4 elements in the right way, you have a very strong social profile, not just LinkedIn, any profile. All right. And what I really like about this profile tool is it's built for them. They have a complete framework that they can just use, and it's basically automated. You just copy and paste pictures of your LinkedIn profile or your Instagram profile into it, and it scores it out of 100, and then it tells you what to do. So it's a done for you service that's packaged up that then means they can go back and do it themselves. This is the way, the fundamental shift in the way I think educators and experts are going to have to adapt and change as we move into the rest of 2026 and beyond. Yeah, we're going to need to think about our business as not solely just us speaking to people all the time. We need assets that people can consume time after time after time after time after time and time again, that get them closer to this desired success result. So what I'd like you to take from this, or the thing that I'd like you to do first and foremost, is go and take a look at your client roadmap. All right. The very first thing I started with, go and take a look at your roadmap and really break down in granular detail the things that have to happen in order for a client to see success. Obviously, success needs to be defined first. And you do it hypothetically. Maybe it's a journey you've done a few times already, and so it's just something you can tighten up. If you're in the midst of building a new offer, this is one of the first things I recommend clients do, is roadmap into phases. And it can be very like zoomed out when you present it to people, but you want a behind the scenes version that's very granular. And then you got to work out who does what. So is this a move that the client needs to take, or is it a move that you need to take? After that, we think of ways to make each of those like stages in the journey more scalable. I'm not saying automate or outsource the entire thing or go and build a load of GPTs and never speak to anyone again. But what I am saying is we will be able to scale our business without using ads and trying to do all this, like the typical scale marketing growth. Scaling can start from inside delivery, which is like, I never hear anyone fucking talking about this. They're all talking about scaling the marketing and scaling the sales. If you start here, providing you've already got like a couple of clients and a loose idea, you're not going to have to worry so much about scaling the marketing, because you're going to have so much time back just from thinking about it from a different angle, which is then going to allow you to just not have to worry about the marketing so much, because you're going to be able to get more clients results with less time, which is exactly what we will all want. Anyway, I promised myself I'll keep it under 20 minutes. I've done quite well. I think I've done quite well. I didn't nail it as much as I thought I would, but oh well. Anyway, if you want help with this stuff, this is stuff we talk about all the time in a lot more detail inside our program C2C. It's a 3-month thing. There are 6 spots left for June as we speak. One's already gone. We sold out last month. We're opening the doors very soon. If you want to get ahead of the curve, get a bit of early access as well, hit the link. You can find out more. Any questions, drop me a DM. We are on 19 minutes and I'm going to go. Goodbye.